The report also quantified what we call a quasi-fiscal loss. Quasi-fiscal meaning because it's not on the fiscal balance sheet, but ultimately it is a fiscal loss. And that loss was $214 million that the team quantified. The loss...
Abusuan ayaka asemwaba say there Sammy Gyamfi one ni Goldbod ena meka se wonu manim eye guase ama ebiaso NDC amonyokuo so ewom se aban ba ye nyamye nim nokware ni obo ne homode ne papa ma niam nyina dodo no a ekofom a Ghana fo pinu a say wonu ma hyase a ye bo aban na baso na ye bo yensem hia edema aban no ewo niam bi a ekoyie nenso so enye ni nyina ena ekoyie ne senti ebreye a IMF edin krata ba bonten se domestic gold purchase and say Goldbod dwumedie ya wodie ya ne die ne se kobetu to wo man mu ye gold na wode akwamona ne akoton se de be ya nkataso mmuaso ana se obi amfa gold mfa kuntu na se enkonkoton wa bra wo man ye nya so mfa so no eba beda adwa se afe a edikan mekire 2025 no nko ano Goldbod adwumakue wo no mo bo kasurusuro ya be se America dollar no opepepe ahanu eni edunan $240 million ena wonum boss aka no IMF de hun krata nyina ba bontene na ensemi babeda abontin afi de na NDC amonyokuo Sammy Gyamfi ena afi nso wonum mo kasa ma amonyokuo no ene nam mframemu a wonum kire se da bida bibia IMF de ba bontin no nya de se no kure bia wo mu na se obia be kase IMF de krata ba bontin aba be kase Goldbod aboka $240 million musini hu emre bi mpodui ma MPP amonyokuo kura friends dem twirefo nhia mu ede tu dwase 2025 nko a Goldbod purchase ya abana de nko hye mu na kase ne abo ne ahwe ya afi ne nkwa wie ne aboka best $300 million na enam so amambrahye bedwani a won ejina mu de ma de hye ya omo ofon ase yire bia bato mpasua so na mekire kodwo opon kroma on edi ani mu mo friends amtwirefo nhia mu na wode enko na yenkoti ensem kakra ya kodwo opon kroma kan ye na afesu na no si ya anu yi a Sammy Gyamfi ya won na yesi wa na so panipa ya woda Goldbod adwumaku na no wo no so ede ba ya enei ensembe na IMF sade aba bonten IMF baba kire me hey sansem no amonam na mokaka ne no kore nkrata ba beda bonten nyina kire se mo aboka na asa na krampo se ebeti IMF de ne nto aso ne enko tie opon nkroma ne semu a wode to dwa bra mo friends em kire fo nhia mo yi
ochi kakra sane amunim no nka braid ye yedi bronya tinko bia ofie nema bi koso a ehura hia se nyina ye befi akwantu na yasamba edikan IMF ama Ghana nyina ti asese 50 January be September no Ghana ya boka $214 million ewo gold a enyumaku ahodo Bank of Ghana ni Goldbod wo mo eto edi bia boa ye reserves ana wo mo to aton na gold ye to boka ya boka $214 million ye cry wodom kuma mu no de samu be kaya brom the Goldbod emran ba match any start ball kokose nhihye na o ma hihye no infitiase na Goldbod ye limited liability company ti so be accord chia ko corporation a emfaso nsi o mani so enti e carbon de sene na o ma hihye o ne ma no ye be ba ye kan match se emfa ya sempa nkodo as September o ma boka $214 million ye koso ye sesemi ni minu anu begina ye sesia afini nko na wi ye no ni ya boka $300 million sa $300 million no minu anu ma teacher fo a mo wi school a mo tifia ni ese e be ma automatic posting a emba ye no sa mo sika no ebi ene ye de abosa aka na wo se ye hwehwe taxpayer sika de kokotua nurse fo a mo wi a mo hia djuma ye ma mo financial clearance sa sika ne nkede be ma mo financial clearance na eno ne de aboka $214 million na eko $300 million contractor fo a ye nti o mo ka ukurom kwan aka ye nwie ye no sika nke betumi de aye ho adwuma no eno na nhihye boni aban we se wa be ye nti no ya boka be $300 million na nhihye boni na o ma ye ne bi ni se first no abra MPP ye de gold for reserves program by na Bank of Ghana Tony Gold no de aboa ye reserves na ye moka ene aban ne bae no we yi adwumakuo ba ko pe a friend Bar Rock no de ni na ahye ne nsase no no ntom fa ma Goldbod na Goldbod so man beton ma Ghana na mfimfin no nkofo didi ena Ghana ye den ye boka $214 million eko $300 million eno ti dom kuma na ye wo parliament no say na yes here the request for parliamentary inquiry bipartisan ad hoc committee yes say yemfembra ne ensin konwa na mpanimfo nyina adwuma we say omo na hye omo nse omo hwe omo aye niam ya bossa akai yentu nsam frɛ ehun krata licenses contract ne niam omo ya akọ critisa problems ikatwitwiri di say by 214 million e 300 million omo fa ni namra ne ensin konwa na parliament endom wasuko yehu asem no ne kofa bai be a mistake ni fi akwa kofa we aba ne sene ayekọ anim ne yebetnetene no se yenhwem no so no so obi aye bibi ensem fata senia emra ekire no na yede nafa emra kwanso na we ne yesre se we nya MPP ne NDC asem yensuo no enimteye in fact baby bebra be ko na nsuo no eni aye nyan sen fe senia net no wonu ma etu agudie ewo kwayem wonu nyaye omuguso enti de ehia ne se yebesi nkonwa na as a parliament nhwemu a wose yaye na de ekoso wo abonten na ne yenyina tumi hu se ye de oman sika cry to galam say gold no yetumi aye den aso anu tentem enye MPP enye NDC Ghana ho asem na ye ka na yesre se obi bia emmeka ye ho yenyina enye pempenso ana nko na yentumi anko antia nne a ochina menu nyina nye $300 million spend na yebetua ye duane a ye di ni ensu a ye nu nyina no e de ye beko ose manu sisa
Goldbod ne aban so kire say me moka me a me di dwa no me say me moka for instance
o maka che IMF say o maboka
okay for now yeah o man kan kire Ghana for so maboka
me buy no me buy no me the IMF krata finance minister and governor signature shase page 51 Dr. Kesela Tofos, Minister for Finance, Dr. Johnson Panit Tesemo, signature na chassis. And IMF was stamp so. Maka ni natural. So o catch IMF say o maboka. IMF a catch we are seeing nara. Say Ghana buy my aswati say o maboka 240 million.
Okay.
Na say o mo koye press statement bro say o mo moka eno na uprem.
Enye press statement per se. Say ono no say meba. Meba. Ono no say omoka
meba sabtre
o say ono no say omoka sabtre and na wo so say aboka
enye me na me say sabtre
enye I'm not referring to you as a person
no dey sabtre ma
as a person
me tumre ma kire osie
say
me kura IMF document
good
and I say signatures here was me dey akire wo kura na wo kan
finance minister and government
and I say o ma catch IMF ma IMF sa document we say IMF publish it to IMF board we are say IMF shareholders need directors countries say IMF nyina o ma publisher catch rom so o ma boka $240 million metu mira kire osie nea wo se obi si o mo ka no pa che e dey document
meba ye ne obokasa enura kwa Nurudin Abbas right enura obafie ha ama ye disase mu hu nkomo ama ne kan say wo mo boka se de ababonti amoyo press conference no ento mo so adinchechemu aba a kire say omo mboka bia for as we speak
Nurudin Abbas okay
as we speak wo mo nyi to so maboka ye ka say abanti na wo ka say Professor Suman wo ka ne document bia o say abani nyi to so waboka mo so mo say abana boka enti say abana boka mpampa de a ene na de entia ye say abana boka 300 million no enu nie eye say tina bana boka enti sabana anya ntumu dia monka na mo na baji tumu dia bobeka
yankaza patroti me ka cho say press conference na say can say ye call for parliamentary inquiry asemo ye embesettle no u studio ha obi a ofin say asemo we say ye betela u studio ha say aba settle na nipa kro ne sebi na dwimo ha asemo nya sama ye ko gina ase ho na ya ba be ka say me say wo say dabi metu mira kire usie anya go ne yedi okrom ha o Ghana for sika $300 million ye di aboka no ye say ye fair parliamentary inquiry me the IMF document a tell say what catch IMF what sign ase IMF a publish say what boka 214 million but me rashi emwa okumfo ye nko na parliamentary inquiry ase so bible mu dinsie ne so all the documents contracting adin na dey interrogation one by one obi say ye say Nurudin Abbas say omomboka na no we about so omomboka me dey fa me
Goldbod penny other Goldbod anu akasa kasa omomboka
o ka say o ka no we about say na man bone
yes
Sammy Gyamfi so akasa incident document na
meba
crowd
Sammy Gyamfi na news file so akasa omomboka
I know your problem
meba say dia wo kanu say dia wa kan say IMF document ni anya hwe kro na anya hwe omo so nya document ni bi akenkan omo ya aware of it and omo say omomboka
they say I know your problem
enti say no omomboka no e pese hu say e kan o mabo no say IMF dey na mogina so dey kan fine IMF for to be chire mu say e bia e ka 214 million na o mabo no ai e ke ka 300 million then IMF for ye hunu ni say because IMF for kan transfer ye hunu ni say e bia Goldbod e say internet kan baaye Bank of Ghana e say internet kan baaye I am before to reach the code potting into ya. I can buy.
How much? Nadi American show went yana.
And Yaman Kwana meeting time service.
Okay. Mammy San kind of
okay.
Mammy found paragraph 36 first of all. Almost say in 2025, artisanal and small scale mining gold transactions component of the Gold for Reserves program. They are yetofi small scale miners hono make mau key be say ye seed ni na ma company back Bower Rock ono handle ono na aban edi sika ma no ono na Bank of Ghana sika no ye de man say onkoto na to or the aba Goldbod so a charging fees first of all no turn at a bonus utie me on turn at a discount or turn at a bonus oyo the aba Goldbod your fees and o ma saying cost at so if we are fees and assaying cost no ni na Bank of Ghana cow if we are na Bank of Ghana eba best seno at a rate Bloomberg mid rate in rules are rate we say what am I say good obi biara otie yin bia no obi bisa no say send yere kwa kota de ukrum no kota de no 15 ebeton 10 a omoka
oboboka
good meba na me point ni yen they are requested for yen nyina nkran ni ntutu nkran maka to say mo yen be settle wo studio ase they are requested for a parliamentary inquiry nti obi bia o feel so wo view bia on say since I hear press conference no me nkasa because me person litigate assembly in the court of public opinion they be kwakotna committee nanim na ya go through it one by one obi bia o feel so wo information bia ho na obeba document a ukra say document here ukra me yen fa ne say they are making me boa and I'm bet now studio na me am print me document na make obere hu and until ye call committee of inquiry na document ko na kan obere obe tender official source of the document no committee ne be check it ye be hu no kura wo nti obi bia o say o information bia ye ne obi an argue
on famra
obi a nti obi an support parliamentary inquiry ni say a good idea yen call parliamentary inquiry no obi an fa ne de
bia o kin kan
Goldbod mra ne say Goldbod ni oman bia ye contract obi a ye contractor e o say sa contract ni na ye publish it one contract ni bi one bia na
well me hwehwe nti binya hu ni
Bower Rock na unimpo say company bi o ho na from sa ye na e be ka kire mo ye nansi bibi so aye mba me ka sa
ati sa Bower Rock e be ba ho
me ba enu nti no so mu nyina apia se ho na Bower Rock na beba anamboa e ho na contract na ama omo nko an no mutumi aggregate artisanal small scale mining
eti kwadwo opon kroma ono ne DNPP amonyoku n'anima na se dom kuma ye omo mara hye badwafie mu a wo mo de sansemi ba betu dwa efa eka wonum tutu se wo man ne da yanimu a yabo na Sammy Gyamfi nsusu de anu yie bai o de yenko ne yenko tie Sammy Gyamfi nsusu anu yie a wo de emma sa eka yi a wo mo kire se Bank of Ghana ene fa he kosi hene ene yesi ni wurewura o man ne motuom ko pie ha ne ade a o de yenko na yenko tie Sammy Gyamfi nsusu anu yie a wo de ba ye bra MPP amonyoku wonum de sankrata e begu abonten kire se IMF enum ton ena wase na se ye no kure se nye no kure IMF ene sade nkrata ababonten e de na IMF se ka ya sisi de ya ye nimguase de ama Goldbod NDC amonyoku enam Sammy Gyamfi so yenko ninko tie Sammy Gyamfi mo aye ne mra.
When you hear people talk, Kojo Ponkroma, somebody has made a loss of $240 million. He could have built 12 Agenda 11 hospitals.
Correct.
Then you ask them, how much losses did you make under that same program? How much? They can put that table too on the screen for viewers to see. I have given you this is from the Bank of Ghana, all G4R losses since its inception. Am I equalizing to score political points? No. Am I comparing losses? No. I am exposing the duplicity and hypocrisy of a group of people who know that G4R is not for profit and yet are kicking the fuss about losses. People who themselves made more losses. So let's calculate how many hospitals their losses could have built. In 2022, they only bought 76 kg of gold. They made a loss of 74 million cedis. In 2023, they bought only 24.8 tons of gold. They made a loss of 2.1 billion cedis. In 2024, they bought only 45.3 tons of gold. They made a loss of 4.8 billion only last year. 4.8 billion. So, Kojo Ponkroma, tell us how many Agenda 111 hospitals your loss in 2024, which is 4.8 billion, could have built. 2025, we have bought higher volumes, 103 from 45, more than double. Look at the value, more than times 3, from $3.1 billion to $10.8 billion. And we are saying our loss will be determined, our cost will be determined after audit. But let's assume your $300 million is correct. That is $3 billion. Is that not a reduction despite higher volumes, despite higher prices? If you bought 103 tons like we have done and brought in $10.8 billion, you would have made maybe times 10 the losses you posted last year. So please, we are saying that let's approach the discussion from a position of objectivity. What the Johnson Esiaman-led BOG has done, and I don't like to give myself plaudits, you understand? But what they have done is something worth commending. They have done what in 8 years. What somebody did in 8 years, they have done it in 1 year.
Yeah.
And everybody can feel the benefit. Taxpayers have been saved money. Right. Cost of living has come down. Sammy. Living conditions have improved. And then you see people saying somebody has made this loss.
Thank you very much. A couple more questions will.
We there otrofo no se me danse ni wa brochiri mam Sammy Gyamfi nsemu a wo no so ba be kan na me ne wo kasai na me ne wo kasai International Monetary Fund me kire IMF omo an kasa babonten ababe the video mpo ababe support nkrata hodo mo de bae se ade na maso ode ne sa ya ka kire mo se maboka munyintum na nsiesie ne niam bi anko yi afrase no munsiesie ne ye fi se gold purchase na mo de bae na ababoa wo kwan bi so aboa a stabilize mo dollar aboa ama sebi nipa bia na fa kuntuna ase de gold kwa mo no ne koton nyina ma block aboa ama se niam bebre no na ekoyie nti se maboka o ba bia man nya mo fede munyintum na munyansiesie se de be ya afia yesimu ya na se afia di animo no Goldbod ana se domestic gold purchase dwumadi ni betimi aboa ama nsesan bi abo man ne mu na wopanipa ya ono na odi animu e wo IMF adwumakuo mu a wodin sansem no tudwane yenko na yenko tie ne yewie so Ghana fo bi kansem o Ghana fo bi kansem papa ne enya daje eti Ghana fo nsem a wonom so eka.
For the fifth review, the report acknowledged this program, and it acknowledged and discussed a bit the benefits and the costs of the domestic gold purchase program. On the benefit side, what we see is a contribution to a buildup of international reserves and reduced pressure on the foreign exchange market during a difficult period for Ghana. So those were the benefits of the program. The report also quantified what we call a quasi-fiscal loss. Quasi-fiscal meaning because it's not on the fiscal balance sheet, but ultimately it is a fiscal loss. And that loss was $214 million that the team quantified. The loss stemmed from trading activities, fees, exchange rate movements. And to help address this, our recommendation is to strengthen transparency, governance, and risk management, especially for the Goldbod linked channel under this domestic gold purchase program. We also strongly recommend that the losses should be brought on balance sheet rather than held on the balance sheet of the central bank. So on the budget, they should be brought on the budget's balance sheet rather than held on the central bank's balance sheet. And why is this important? It's important to ensure that the Bank of Ghana remains well positioned to deliver on its key price stability mandates. So it's about, moving something that is quasi-fiscal, moving it onto the budget balance sheet so it's transparent, and it also ensures that the Bank of Ghana is able to deliver on its mandate.
Review our Omni Ghana Bay. Where a copy of it?
IMF report.
And only December 2025. Uko page 51 and open them the unia back. Who signatures na wasi no. Pacho signatures na.
Dr. Kesel Atoforson, NP Minister of Finance, Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama, Governor Bank of Ghana. Yeah, and a copy to Secretary to the President, Jubilee House Accra.
Enti nyese obi na airborne isiri mu aka. The IMF report no e kan say uko say paragraph 36 or say Ghana boka from January to September. Ya boka $214 million.
Read the exact words how much show.
Or see in 2025 through end Q3, I cut Q3 I just quarter 3.
Sure.
And no end September. Losses from the artisanal and small scale mining door gold transactions component of the Gold for Reserves program have reached $214 million. Or science is a crumple in a percentage of GDP, or 0.2% of GDP. Mostly on trading losses, but also on Goldbod off-taker fees.
Yeah, and say Omaka say eka aba trading losses aba based on your friend is saying off-taker fees are Goldbod etia and trading losses.
Thank you.
How I bet it.
Yeah, just what could you aboka trading? Trading, I said,
yeah, trading you get the
loss here then.
eka
Until we want to treat no trim. In 2025 through NQ3, losses from the artisanal and small scale door gold transactions component of Gold for Reserves have reached $214 million.
Yes.
That's 0.2% of GDP. Mostly A, on trading losses, but also B, on Goldbod off-taker fees. And Hong Kong. Mami Fawoko, paragraph 56. Or say the losses from the domestic gold purchase program and Goldbod's activities should not be borne by the central bank. But what I said,
yes, sir. And yet a car was a Bank of Ghana editum.
okay. It should be transparently brought on budget. There's a budget, just the fiscal program. Inti Gyamfi koma hwana untia.
Finance Ministry.
Thank you.
Yet you say we should praise you. All the monies you have provided for giving to Galamsey activities through Goldbod, are you making a distinction between regularly mined gold and illicit gold? All we know is that Bank of Ghana is releasing dollars for Goldbod to buy gold. There is no transparent accounting system. But we tell you, one day, all the transactions and the Goldbod, where the exchange rate losses, the differentials went to, you would account for them.
The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has disclosed that Ghana's domestic gold purchase program resulted in a quasi-fiscal loss of $214 million, while also acknowledging that the initiative helped stabilize the economy during a period of financial stress. Speaking during a briefing on the IMF's fifth review staff report on Ghana, the Director of Communications Department at the IMF, Julie Kozak, said that the program contributed positively to boosting international reserves and easing pressure on the foreign exchange market at a crucial time for the country.
In our staff report for the fifth review, the report acknowledged this program, and it acknowledged and discussed a bit the benefits and the costs of the domestic gold purchase program. On the benefit side, what we see is a contribution to a buildup of international reserves and reduced pressure on the foreign exchange market during a difficult period for Ghana. So those were the benefits of the program. The report also quantified what we call a quasi-fiscal loss. Quasi-fiscal meaning because it's not on the fiscal balance sheet, but ultimately it is a fiscal loss. And that loss was $214 million that the team quantified. The loss stemmed from trading activities, fees, exchange rate movements. And to help address this, our recommendation is to strengthen transparency, governance, and risk management, especially for the Goldbod linked channel under this domestic gold purchase program. We also strongly recommend that the losses should be brought on balance sheet rather than held on the balance sheet of the central bank. So on the budget, they should be brought on the budget's balance sheet rather than held on the central bank's balance sheet. And why is this important? It's important to ensure that the Bank of Ghana remains well positioned to deliver on its key price stability mandates. So it's about moving something that is quasi-fiscal, moving it onto the budget balance sheet so it's transparent, and it also ensures that the Bank of Ghana is able to deliver on its mandate.
Right, so let's try and get some further understanding of what exactly has been said there. Dr. Peter Tekpe is an economist and has joined us for a quick conversation. Doc, good evening. Thank you for joining us on News 360.
And thanks very much to your cherished viewers. Good evening to your cherished viewers as well.
The conversation about whether or not the $240 million was a loss or on operational costs, etc., is still out there. Government has tried to explain it, and it was on the back of IMF telling us that, yes, we undertook this gold purchase or gold for reserve program, and these are the losses. Efforts, according to the Bank of Ghana governor, are being made to ensure that when these losses are reduced or do not recur to this magnitude. The IMF is now telling us that the losses should be moved from the books of the Bank of Ghana. What's your understanding of that statement?
Well, the activities of Goldbod and the benefit it brings to Ghana far outweigh the losses that we are seeing, because it has helped the country a lot, especially in terms of reserves mobilization, which is very good. Now, with the comment from IMF, the report from IMF, what IMF basically is telling us is that Bank of Ghana should focus on their core mandate, which is monetary policy management. Because once you move away from your core mandate and try to involve yourself in activities outside your jurisdiction, then it's going to dilute your performance. And so everybody will see you not to be performing as expected. Meanwhile, it's as a result of activities that were not directly linked to you that you have engaged yourself in. So that is the picture that the IMF is painting to us and telling the government that look, focus on your core mandate so that we'll be able to actually differentiate between what is your real performance and what is consolidated performance in terms of government activities or other unit activities.
Right. And is the Goldbod in a good position financially to take on these losses, especially going into a new year, if its operations, as per what it has undertaken in 2025, if you're using that same blueprint for 2026, can it accommodate these losses and still make the significant profit it made last year?
Well, the whole structure of Goldbod in terms of financing needs to be looked at, because you see, the activities of Goldbod is such that it cannot mobilize enough resource itself to be able to purchase the gold volume that they have been purchasing. Don't forget, they are trading in Ghana cities in terms of the gold they buy in Ghana, but they sell in foreign currency. So you need more cities to be able to mobilize enough of the gold from the market. And Goldbod does not have that capacity. It needs support from other areas. That is why maybe we have to look at a syndication from the various banks to support the activities of Goldbod. Other than that, if Bank of Ghana involves itself, that is where we are going to see these losses coming out. So government needs to look at the entire financial structure of Goldbod and see how to mobilize or organize funding to support the activities of Goldbod. So Goldbod will be independent and handle its own resources. Other than that, it will continue to draw funds from the central bank, which will affect the central bank's position as we are saying now. That is why IMF is cautioning us that let us not tread on that path, because in the near future, it will not be in the interest of the fiscal space of Ghana. That's why they are asking us to do so now.
All right, Dr. Peter Tekpe, thank you for your time on this subject, and we are grateful that you made time to speak with us. He is an economist.